Okay, come. Shalom, shalom. A little technical. Okay, there we go. Shalom, shalom. Should be up. Like to technical difficulties there. Y'all let me know if y'all can hear and see me now. Understand? Okay, should be up. Come, there we go. Y'all just give me a 1, give me a thumbs up if y'all can hear and see me now. Like it ran into technical difficulties. Y'all let me know if y'all can hear and see me. Should be up. Okay, Most High in Christ. Shalom, shalom, warrior. All right. All right, we up there. Just give it just a few more moments. Run into a little technical difficulties. Okay. All right. All right, Most High in Christ, Most High in Christ, the water, y'all able to hear and see me. Everybody just sign their name, city, state for attendance. Like it run into technical difficulties. All right, we up. We up. I can live I.S.U.P.K. Virginia law class. You understand? Getting to these laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. Lots going on. See the police still killing brothers. All kind of things going on in this evil empire. All right. And of course, the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High is what's going to keep us safe in these last days. You understand? That's what's going to keep our people safe. What's going to keep us focused as the Lord destroys America. You understand? The more and more that we focus on serving the Most High, we build this nation. And by serving the Most High, of course, serving Christ, being in the I.S.U.P.K. to build this kingdom, this righteous kingdom, this society that Christ died for. You understand? To build up the world where Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans will be safe from our oppressors and from those that'll harm us or hunt us. You understand? You understand? Let's get into this. Anybody got any questions? Y'all just type your questions in. All right. We're going to get into it. All right. Get into these laws. Summer's coming around. Summertime, you see a lot of shootings, a lot of things that's going on always in the Black and Hispanic and Native American community every summer. You understand? All of the evil that's going on, the things that cause all of these shootings, all of this evil that the Lord brings, we're going to get into these laws. You understand? All right. We're going to start at the Most High's laws. Shalom, boy, Yashim Shabrakatah. You understand? Y'all stay strong. Y'all serve the Most High. Keep his laws, statutes, and commandments. A lot of holidays coming up. You understand that 4th of July is coming up. Worship in America, Veterans Day, all these holidays and things come up. Don't get sucked into the frenzy of these holidays. You understand? Don't get sucked into the culture and things of America. And also, don't get sucked into religion, man. Religion, these scriptures, these laws, statutes, and commandments that the Lord gave us in the Bible, they are not for a religion. You understand? We don't have religion or religious beliefs. We have the laws, statutes, and commandments, the orders that the Lord gave us in these scriptures. And these orders teach us how the Lord expects us to operate. They teach us what the Lord wants us to do and the different consequences and the benefits for obeying the Lord and the consequences for disobeying the Most High. All right. So we're going to start at Leviticus. We're going to start at Leviticus chapter 20, and we're going to go down to verse 10. All right. We're going to go down to verse. As a matter of fact, we're going to start at verse 9. Okay. For any Christian, there is things that's in the scriptures that I want to bring to your attention. That's very small things. It may seem like it's small, but anytime you'll have, just for your own personal understanding and your scriptures, for your spirit and your growth, that you understand who the Bible is talking to, who the Lord is talking to, very specific things. I'm gonna bring out those precepts as well for any Christians or anything that you might have or encounter with that Satan will send to try to throw you and knock off your understanding of what you're being taught in these classes. You understand? So we're gonna go there first. We're gonna start at Leviticus chapter 20. All right, we're gonna start at Leviticus chapter 20, and we're gonna start at verse 1. Now, these laws, these things in the Bible, these are books. These books are written to and by specific people. You understand? It's very easy to take for granted that we understand because of you being in the truth, coming to be taught by the men that the Lord set up in I.S.U.P.K, that we understand that the Bible is only talking to the children of Israel. Shalom. Yahweh Shema Thashim Yahweh Shah says, Yahweh Shem Shah Thumb. Brothers on YouTube, sisters, brothers on Facebook. All right. We understand that the Lord is talking to the children of Israel. However, it specifically explains who each of these prophets and people is talking to. There's something the Christian church does, and it's because our oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of. And what they do is they steal basic reading. They teach you basic reading comprehension in school. General SHALAM would say this all the time. He would say these for years and years. We hear General SHALAM say this and bring this out at the speakers. They would teach basic reading comprehension. And then somewhere around the 7th or the 8th grade, they would take that basic reading comprehension and then flip it in your mind, especially with the Christian church. And then flip it in your mind so that you will see and read things, and then you will stop focusing on understanding what you're seeing and reading and stop examining what's written in the scriptures. And then you'll start just to repeat what you've been heard. And then everybody will repeat enough things so that we'll stop basic reading comprehension. I'm going to come to your scripture, young man in Virginia Beach. I'm going to come to your scripture in just a moment. All right. Anybody else have any questions? Y'all make sure y'all type y'all scriptures, type y'all questions in. We can get to them. All right. Like the words in the scriptures are extremely important. That's why we break down the scriptures. Everybody like, share, thumb up these classes, everything. Make sure they share them. All right. Y'all share them all these social media platforms everywhere. So Leviticus chapter 20 and verse 1, it says, and the Most High spake unto Moses, saying, meaning this is entire thing. I don't want you to miss it because it's very important. It said the Lord spoke to Moses. The Lord did not speak to all of the children of Israel directly. That's a demon. That personal salvation, of course, that personal relationship with God, all of these things that Christians have in their mind that are not biblical and they're not supported by the scriptures. That's why that reading comprehension is so very important, that the Christian church teaches you to ignore, to follow in on mass frenzied in their religious beliefs that don't align with what's taught in the scriptures. So it says, the Lord spake unto Moses. The Lord did not speak to the children of Israel. There was no personal relationship. The Lord spoke to Moses. Verse 2 says, again, thou shalt say to the children of Israel, meaning this never went away, that the Lord chose a prophet, just like it says in Deuteronomy 18 and 15 and 17, the Lord would raise up a prophet from amongst you, from one of the Israelites, one of thy brothers, and the Lord would put words in his mouth, meaning there's one man that the Lord is dealing with. It's always been that way from the days of Adam to the days of Noah, to the days of, you understand, to Abraham, to Isaac, to Jacob. You understand? The Lord has always dealt with one man. In Egypt, the Lord dealt with I.S.U.P.K, Joseph. Joseph was in charge of Egypt for a period of time. Then the Lord dealt with Moses, like it's reading here. Used the prophet Moses to deliver the children of Israel the message and the orders from the Lord. This is a very heavy concept. Shalom, Jim Shah Thumb. This is a very heavy concept that I want y'all to grasp and get, that will feed you very much in your spiritual growth and development as your walk in this truth progresses. All right. The Lord spoke to Moses, gave Moses instructions. The Lord gave instructions on how to free the children of Israel to Moses. The Lord did not give instructions to 100 different people. Aaron was in Egypt. Aaron did not get instructions on how to free the children of Israel. The rest of the brothers and sisters that were in Egypt, the sons of Korah, Dathan, Moses' sister, Miriam, his family, all of our people, all 12 tribes, we were in slavery in Egypt, millions of us. The Lord did not speak and give everyone their own personal voice, their own personal platform, their own fake Israelite group to see what's best for black people, their own Black Panthers, their Nation of Islam, their Moorish Science, their political affiliations. The Lord did not give his answer to all of these nations. The scripture says, as it was, the things written aforetime were written for our learning, as it says in the New Testament. You understand? The same things that's happening here in America were happening in the land of Egypt. We were in slavery, getting killed by the Egyptians, their law enforcement. We were in the ghettos, fighting, hating each other, getting high, all this poverty and oppression, working dead-end jobs, living, you understand, in bad living conditions. And we also had Toms and sellouts that loved Pharaoh, that loved Egypt. When the Lord told Moses to go to Pharaoh and tell him to let my people go, they said Pharaoh got angry and he increased the burdens on the children of Israel. You understand? And then the politicians, the people who had good seats, the people who had wealth and power like Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton, you understand, and the political leaders and all of these movements that America loves, all right? Like they were angry at Moses, saying that why did you go and do this to Pharaoh? Like, why did you go and do this? You understand? You made us look bad to Pharaoh. It's Exodus chapter 7 and verse 18. You understand? Oh, Salak, and that's not 7 and 18, but as in Exodus, they said, you made us to stink before Pharaoh. You made us look bad. You made him think that we're not doing our jobs as the head Negroes, the head niggas in charge to make everybody be pacified and peaceful at our slavery, our oppression, us dying and getting killed by the Egyptians. They were angry at Moses because Moses, with the Spirit of the Lord, brought to attention the real problems and abuses that was happening to our people at the hands of our oppressors, just like the I.S.U.P.K does. You understand? And they didn't want Moses to do it. You understand? They didn't want the way that the Lord set up. I said all of that to say this. The Lord is not with these fake Israelite groups, the mosques, the Christian churches, all of these Black Lives Matter, everybody that thinks that they can go about doing what's best for and including Blacks and Hispanics and Native Americans. They have no right or permission to lead or direct any of our people in any way at all. Like, all of our people are commanded to follow the one prophet that the Lord has always spoken through, that he chose. At this time, it is Commanding General Yohanna. At one time, it was Peter. It was Mattathias. At one time, it was Paul. It was Christ. Before Christ, it was the prophets, Ezekiel, Isaiah, Jeremiah, Nehemiah, all the way to Amos, to Samuel, to Moses, to Joshua. It was always this way. You understand? So now we're going to go back with that understanding to Leviticus chapter 20 and verse 2. It says, again, thou shalt say, meaning you are going to say to the children of Israel, meaning the instructions the children of Israel get from the Lord are coming from Moses, meaning anyone else's instructions that they get that's not coming from Moses is not coming from the Lord. They're not getting it from the Lord, even though it may seem like they're saying what Moses is saying. Christ came on the scene and there were fake Israelite groups. They called them vagabond Jews, exorcists. That's what they called them, because they did and said what it seemed like they saw Christ and the disciples doing, so that they can keep the money and get their own followers in their own group to do their own thing like good Christians, as opposed to humbling themselves and getting in the the one house, the one faith, the one baptism, the one body that the Lord actually set up, which was under Christ and his men, which is the I.S.U.P.K. They found a different way to go about doing things. You understand? And that way is about to get a ton of our people hurt as the Lord closes the doors on America more and more and more. All right. It says, whosoever be of the children of Israel or of the strangers that sojourn in Israel, that giveth any of his seed to Molech, he shall surely be put to death. The people of the land shall stone him with stones. You understand? Like sinning against the Lord, these are things that was not tolerated. Of course, in this wicked, evil society, we are put here as a punishment to weed out who's going to marshal their spirit and focus and concentrate on pleasing the Most High, and who just wants to enjoy this evil, wicked kingdom with all of the weed and the LGBT and the homosexuality and adulteries and orgies and getting high and joining all nations together, which was what our people had always wanted to do. Our people always wanted to join the other nations, to be a part of them, to marry into their families, specifically why the Lord sent plagues, curses, and death to separate our people. We were always to be the children of righteous men, righteous men, to breed righteousness, because the sinners of our people would die from disobeying the Most High. That's where you read all of these plagues, these curses, these things came. The Lord did these things. That's with the cancer and the AIDS and all of these viruses, all of these plagues, all of this murder and police brutality, all of these things, that if you come under the protection of the Lord by obeying him, the Lord will keep us protected from these things. The Lord will keep us safe. Not that nothing will ever happen to you, but to keep us safe, that the death and the things that's killing and taking our people out all over that are not serving the Most High, we building a world and a society where we are not just sitting in the wrath of the Lord for disobeying him constantly, which is how the kingdom of heaven is built, that Christ is referring to in the New Testament. All right. So now we're going to get the Lord's laws on, we're going to go to Leviticus chapter 20 in just a second. Let's get this brother's question here. This is Matthew chapter 16 and verse 18. We're going to come to young man in Virginia Beach, Matthew chapter 16 and verse 18. We're going to pull that scripture, see what it says, a breakdown for Matthew 16 and 18. Let's take a look. All right. Let's see, Matthew 16, right, 16 and 18. All right. So Matthew chapter 16 and verse 18. All right. All right. So the first thing you want to do with the scriptures, especially if you find a question or different things like that, I'm going to read it, but it's good to go up a few verses ahead to see what is taking place. That's always important. The context of the scriptures describing what's being responded to or what's being said is in most cases either a few verses before the scripture you're looking at, or a few verses, shalom, sis, y'all, small, thashimel, shai, or a few verses after the scripture that you're looking at. So the question is in Matthew chapter 18 and verse, Salaki, hold on. Salaki, 1 second, make sure I get it. Matthew chapter 16, Salaki, and verse 18. It says, and I say also unto thee, meaning he's saying also, remember, if, ands, buts, also these words that are adding on to a previous thought or a previous statement. These are extremely important because what is said before that is extremely important. In order to understand what's being talked about, you have to know what was said beforehand. That's why precepts are so very important. In order to understand what's going on in the New Testament, you have to know the precepts of what it's referring to in the Old Testament. Remember, Christ said, I came not to destroy the law or the prophets in Matthew chapter 5 and verse 17. So the prophets that came before, all of the works and the words that the Lord had given them, because remember, The Lord always deals with one man and tells him what to say, either at that time or for the future. That's what a prophecy is, telling you something that's going to happen in the future before it happens. All right. So when it says and, that means it's adding on to something. I say unto thee that thou art Peter. Remember, and upon this rock I will build my church, and the gates of hell shall not prevail against thee. So I'm going to break that down for you. All right. So the first thing you want to go to is you want to scroll up to get, this is a conversation that Christ is having with the disciples. All right. You want to go to Luke, you want to go up to Matthew chapter 16 in the same chapter, and you want to go to chapter 13. Brother that asked the question, you hear me? Just respond, make sure you can hear me, all right? If you hear me, you paying attention, you understand, you're able to type in to respond, just reply back so I know you understand. As I break this down for you, make sure that you get it, all right? Young man in Virginia Beach, just make sure you're getting it, all right? So Matthew chapter 16 and chapter 13. It's about 5 verses up. This is a conversation that's happening. Matthew 16 and 13 says, when Yahweh came unto the coast of Caesarea Philippi. This is one of the cities that Paul later on built a school in Philippi. All right. Philippi is a city where brothers and sisters live. So Christ and the disciples are traveling, doing speakings, doing miracles, the same way you see the brothers in the I.S.U.P.K hitting the road and traveling, setting up schools, setting up camps. You understand? That's always been how it operates in the scriptures. This is not someone else going and setting up their own operation like you see churches and mosques and any group that's teaching our people anything about God or leading our people. They went and set themselves up. You understand? We're not supposed to have separate groups with all kind of different affiliations, worshiping other gods and more science and all of this other nonsense. None of that would be allowed. The worship of another God was a death penalty offense. So that 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years later, you won't have half of our race, millions of blacks and Hispanics that's tripped up into Islam and Catholicism and Christianity. We won't have none of that, because the second you go to tell somebody to worship another God, you understand, you're supposed to be stoned to death. That was it. That was the end of anybody ever learning what it means to go and worship another God. That was it. You said eat pork. You said let's go and worship the God of getting high or praying the rocks or, you know, worshiping the stars and the moon. You got stoned to death. That was it. That never was supposed to take root amongst our people. But it did, because the judgment that the Lord wants in the earth, that judgment was stopped. Because our people turned away from the Lord, and then we went into captivity, and then the Lord just threw us away altogether, which Christ came to redeem us back. That's what he died for. You understand? So Matthew chapter 16 and verse 13, Christ is asking a question. It says, when Yahweh came unto the coast of Caesarea Philippi, he asked his disciples, saying, who do men say that I, the Son of Man, am? He asked them, who do they say I am? You know what I'm saying? This is a black man talking. So he's saying, what they saying about me, man? I know they heard me. You understand? You got to remember, you got to put the spirit, always when you read the scriptures, you got to put the spirit on to understand and view the Bible as a black man. Our entire life, we've been taught about God, Christ, the disciples, the angels, heaven and hell. All of the things we've been taught about God has been through the lens and the understanding of being a white man who is not spiritual, who doesn't understand slang, who is not the Lord's chosen people. And the Bible is not for him. Christ is not for him. The scriptures, salvation is not for him, New or Old Testament. None of that is for him. So he cannot understand the scriptures. It's not made for his people. Neither can the East Indians, the Arabs, the Africans. It's not made for all people. It's only for our people. You understand? It's such a foreign concept because everyone is used to stealing from blacks and Hispanics and Native Americans that no one ever thinks is wrong. All of the people that who were not brought here in slavery, like the so-called Afro-Americans, who are not the Mexicans that were already here before the white man murdered the Mexicans and stole Texas and California and drew lines into Mexico, which still belongs to them rightfully, and the rest of the 77 million North American Indians of the tribe of Gad and Reuben that they murdered to steal from Florida all the way up to all the way across Utah, north, south, east, and west. You understand? No one feels that they're wrong for coming and setting up shop in America because the white man murdered us and then invited everybody here. Nobody feels that they are culpable in the crimes that they joined with the white man by setting up shop in America. Everyone feels that they have a right to do so. That's why when Christ comes, it says it's going to be as though he had a vesture. His outfit was washed in blood. How much killing he's going to do, because nobody feels any, any compassion. No one feels any, any conviction for their crimes. It's not recognized as a crime if you're doing something to the Lord's chosen people. You understand? So Christ is asking the disciples, who do men say that I am? Verse 14 says, and they said, these is what the disciples replied back to Christ. Some say thou art John the Baptist. They said, some of them say you John the Baptist. Some say Elias. Elias is Elijah. You understand? Elijah, a great prophet in the Old Testament. You understand? Called fire down from heaven. You understand? If you don't know, Officer Urash Mouth, probably go over Elijah at some point in time in the history class on Mondays. Make sure y'all in class. And others say Jeremiah or one of the prophets. You understand? The reason why they are saying, who do men say that I am? And they are giving answers about men that have already came and died, is because it was always known to our people, to the Israelites, that when you die, your spirit comes back and you become another person again, just with the same spirit. Like when you die, you don't go and live in some sandcastle in the sky. You die, you come back a few generations later, born to some male relative of your family's lineage that you don't know, and you become a brand new baby boy or a brand new baby girl, but your same spirit will be born back into the earth in a new body. That's reincarnation, also known as rejuvenation. In the scriptures in the New Testament, it's called the rejuvenation. All right. So the disciples answered, verse 15, it says, he saith unto them, but whom say ye that I am? He asking the disciples, who do y'all say I am? Who y'all think I am? And Simon Peter, you understand? His name in the world was Simon. Just like y'all coming to the truth, y'all have slave names. Names that you're given in English or French or Spanish, Dutch, Portuguese, whatever language for the white man or whoever enslaved and murdered out your fathers, to give them these English, these Arabic, these French, these Dutch, these Spanish, these Portuguese names that we have before you come into the truth to serve the Most High. Then you will get a real name from the Lord, from the prophets that the Lord set up, from the men that God appointed to raise you in the family that God wants you to be a part of, versus the natural family that you were born into just to get you back here in the earth. You understand? Christ had a family he was born into. You don't hear much about Christ's family because they were not relevant past getting Christ born into the earth so that he can do the work of the Lord. You understand? All right. That don't mean you got to go and throw your family away and, do all kind of evil things to your family, but put your spirit in the proper perspective. Your mother, your aunts, your uncles, your cousins, your grandmothers, and in many cases, if you come into the truth and you were married beforehand, your wife or your husband is not, you understand, they're not in the truth, helping you progress in the family of the Lord. Now, if you're a wife, you got responsibilities and duties to take care and obey your husband, as long as he's not telling you to do something unlawful if he's in the world. If you're a husband, you cannot go and throw your wife away because she still likes pork chops and she wants to smoke weed. You're going to have to teach her how not to and deal with that and get counseling. But you understand, there is no divorce, just to make sure that that's clear. But this is the family that the Lord called. This is the world and the society that the Lord is building, that Christ talks about. For God so loved the world. It's not talking about just everything on the planet. It's not talking about the society that our people have in the world that is filled with the customs and cultures of Islam and Christianity and democracy and, you know, Buddhism and Hinduism and humanism, all of these different things there. That's in the world. The society that Christ came and died for, that Christ is asking the disciples about, that he is getting them to build by them following him. This is the world that is in the I.S.U.P.K, that's building the kingdom of heaven. So Christ asked them, but whom say ye that I am? And Simon Peter, Simon was his slave name because he's just being introduced. You hearing from him, Simon Peter answered and said, thou art the Christ, the Son of the living God. You the power, you the anointed, the chosen one, the Messiah, the Mashiach. You understand? God's anointed one that he gave specific abilities to go now and lead this nation. Verse 17, and Yahushua answered and said unto him, blessed art thou, Simon Bar-Jonah. You understand? Simon Bar-Jonah is his name. All right? That's his slave name from being in the world. It says, for flesh and blood have not revealed it unto thee. Meaning you didn't get this revelation about who I am, that you understand who I am. This didn't come from just hearsay. This didn't come from just people talking at the market or just reading some post on Facebook or Twitter to understand who Christ is, to get the revelation of who Christ really is. You understand? But my Father, which is in heaven, meaning the Lord gave you the knowledge and the understanding to recognize that Christ, the truth about the name of Christ, that he's a black man, that he died for God's chosen people, that he died to build our people up, to separate from these other nations and their cultures. You understand? To separate from the world, to build his society, the kingdom of heaven, to come into the truth, man. All right. Verse 18, and I say unto thee that thou art Peter. Peter was not his name. That's his name in the truth. You understand? A lot of times when you hear a brother's name or a sister's name, they'll say a name and it'll be a comma after it. That's why punctuations are so very important. A comma, a period, exclamation point is important. How you read it to get the proper understanding. Where you stop when you're reading, that's very important to understand the scriptures, man. It says, thou art Peter, and upon this rock will I build my church. Meaning upon this rock, meaning the revelation of knowing who Christ is. And Peter is the rock. Peter, they mean like the stone. You understand? He's sturdy. It says, upon this rock will I build my church, meaning upon Peter. You understand? Peter, for those of you who don't know or who have not been taught that, Peter was the second in command of all the disciples. Peter was who Christ put in charge as the number 2 man in charge over the nation. There's a prophet that the Lord set up. And then there's a man that's directly under him that is in charge of carrying out his orders, making sure things are done. You understand? Just like in the days of Moses, the Lord set up Moses, and then the Lord gave Moses his brother Aaron, who was his right hand in setting up and getting things done and instrumental in helping him in the work of the Lord. The Lord has always been that way. There was Elisha, who was the prophet there, Elijah, and then there was Elisha, the right-hand man, helping him get the things done, his work and service of the Lord. It was always like that. You understand? There was Moses. Moses trained and raised up Joshua so that he could take over once Moses was gone. Remember, there's a river that flows throughout the entire Bible. It's spiritual. Things don't change in the scriptures. There's a constant river that flows through the Bible. There's commanding Gen.YAHANNA. And then the second in charge under the nation is Gen.YAHANNA. It has always been that way, always throughout the scriptures. You understand? Everything that we doing here is spiritual in the I.S.U.P.K. All right. So now let's get back to it. It says, verse 18, It says, and I say also unto thee, thou art Peter, and upon this rock I will build my church. The word church, of course, meaning his body or the school to be taught about Christ, and the gates of hell, meaning the heathen, the different things that they do, all of their strength and their power. When we send up the prayers, the curses to stop all of the enemies that want to seek to stop the word of the Lord, the radios, the airwaves, the governments, the drugs, the getting high. There's an active force to stop you, brothers and sisters, from coming into the truth, from getting in the I.S.U.P.K, from serving the Lord. And a part of that force is most of our families. The world is set up. The society that we are in is set up to stop our people from serving the Lord. That's why in ancient Egypt, Moses had to put in a formal request so that all of our people, all the 12 tribes, could get a few days in the wilderness to go and serve the Most High. It had to be requested. There's a force that is oppressing our people to force them into sin. It's not just by accident that your neighborhood is filled with weed. It's a course that's in this world. It's not by accident that most of our people get molested as children. There's a course that's in this world. And the forces that keep the course of this world are Christianity. The scriptures say spiritual wickedness in high places. It is a coordinated effort by all of the nations, chiefly led by our oppressor, who is the devil that the Bible speaks of, to make sure that it specifically flooded crack and heroin and weed and Percocets and Mollies into the black community. There's a force specifically set to make sure that your music, that he is going to make a rap star or a top star in the music world, is talking about murder. It's talking about being a robber, being a drug dealer, getting high, Percocets and Mollies and Xanax and Coke and weed and selling crack and shooting it up. You understand? Not to say there's nothing wrong with the music. You understand? We listen to the roughest music that there is available out there. There's no sin in listening to the music, but the spirit that ends up on our people, because the Christian church fails to teach us to obey the Lord, that spirit leads us to become a drug dealer and a murderer and a robber and all of these other horrible things that happen, which we're going to get into, which we explain in these classes. You understand? There is no law against listening to any type of music there except gospel music, praise and worship music, that Christian music. That is the open worship of Satan. You understand? That's the worship of Satan. That music is dedicated to a God, and the Lord hates that gospel, that Christian, that praise and worship music, because it is attached to a spirit, attached to demons that teach our people it is acceptable to disobey the Lord. You understand? It goes right along with Christianity and everything that ties in. You understand? That empowers those homosexual preachers and choir directors that's in church molesting everybody. You understand? It's all connected together. You understand? So that's just a little bit there. But this is what it's saying. Peter is going to build up. Verse 19, back in Matthew 16 and 19, it says, and I will give unto thee. Remember, the Lord always deal with one person. You don't deal with everybody. Christ is teaching all 12 of the disciples. Christ is teaching. You understand? But there's one man he going to set up and put in power to be number two. That's Peter. You understand? So we're going to read it again. Remember, reading comprehension is extremely important. That's why we're not a church. They don't care about what you learn or what you understand or don't understand in church. Everybody's just waiting for the time when everyone can sing and dance and just give up some money and act a damn fool and then go back home. You understand? Verse 19 says, and I, this is Christ speaking, it's written in red, will give unto thee. That means you. He talking to Peter. He asks all the disciples a question at the same time. Then he's directing his response to one brother. I will give unto you the keys, meaning the understanding, the knowledge, and the power of the kingdom of heaven, meaning the understanding and the knowledge to build the kingdom of heaven. How do you do that? And whatsoever thou shalt bind on earth shall be bound in heaven. Meaning you have power and authority. And whatsoever thou shalt loose on earth shall be loosed in heaven. Meaning the prayers and things that you are going to say and send up, the actions that you are going to take, that changes things. By you, brothers and sisters, turning from Christmas and Christianity and eating pork and being in the world and smoking weed and cigarettes and getting high, this looses something in heaven, in the fourth dimension. The Lord is only waiting for our people to turn back and obey him, waiting for our people to rise up and stop celebrating Christmas, stop eating pork, stop eating shrimp and crab, and stop, you understand, being lesbians and homosexuals and voting for our leaders. The Lord is waiting for our people to turn back to him, and then he would destroy our oppressors, man. The same thing happened in Egypt. The Lord sent plagues to plague, hurt, and destroy Egypt and kill the Egyptians. He sent them. That's how we get free. If our people would turn back from trying to join hand in hand with the oppressor and leave his government and stop joining his military and his police force and stop having sex with white women and having interracial marriages and selling his drugs and being Muslims and Christians and being in all of these other nations, religions and their cultures, the Lord would stop all of this, man. They wouldn't be able to kill us at traffic stops. They wouldn't be able to gentrify and take over our neighborhoods and communities. The Lord would move and fight on our behalf if we obeyed him, just like the Lord is doing for the I.S.U.P.K. Tons of people, you know, we at camp, they writing traffic tickets, all kind of stuff. Then one day what happened? 9/11 happened. Thousands of dollars of traffic tickets. Commander GEN.YAHANNA told the story. They would ticket our camp vans when we spoke in Times Square, being prepared to pay all of these tickets. And guess what happened? Commander GEN.YAHANNA went to go pay these tickets. The Lord had 9/11 happen. And then all of these police writing bad tickets while we coming to do the work of the Lord. And they're sending people to harass us, trying to take down the camp, trying to block us from getting out to speak in certain cities and states. All of them died in 9/11. They all died. Nobody was able to show up to court. Thousands of dollars in traffic tickets dismissed. People coming up against us, trying to stop the camp from speaking, trying to stop things from getting set up, trying to block our food programs, all of these things. The Lord sent plagues to kill them. You understand? The Lord ain't playing, and we not playing either. We not doing violence or hurting anybody. We trying to wake our people up to save their lives. And if you dumb enough to get in our way while we doing the work of the Lord, we got a prayer for you. You understand? If you Black, Hispanic, or Native American, we pray the Lord deal with your spirit to get you out of the way. But if you a heathen, we pray the angels visit you like the Lord visited Egypt, man. We not praying about the work of the Lord. You don't understand the prophets that's in this Bible. You understand? They came to challenge Elisha about serving the Lord. Elisha called and prayed to the Lord to send fire down from heaven and burn up 400 prophets of Baal. Some Arab or African or Asian, you know, priests or witch doctors that want to set up a bunch of businesses to rule over and exploit our people while turning our women into whores and our people into drug addicts. Without them, our communities could not be filled with drugs. It's not just the American government and the white man. It's not just them. The Arabs is flooding the ghetto with heroin and pills and Percocets too. The Asians is flooding the ghetto with pills and coke and heroin too. The triad, the mob, all the different gangs is not just one oppressor. There's a system that is in place to oppress our people in Central and South America, in the Caribbean. The East Indians are in on it. The various Asians are in on it. All the Africans are in on it. It's not by accident. You understand? This was coordinated and planned since the days of King David. They've been clicking up together, planning on how they could take over and destroy our people so that they can ultimately wipe the knowledge of us being Israelites out so that they'll be able to, you know, just tell us anything and just destroy our people. And then when you get fed up with it, they'll say, well, no, man, it's not just Black lives, it's all lives. You're not the only people. You're not the only one that, you know, that's having a rough time. It's all lives matter, man. We can't do that. While we at it with all lives matter, All rights matter. It's not just black, you know, being black is the same thing as being a homosexual in America, as being a police in America. Blue lives matter, gay lives matter, trans lives matter, everything matters. Like, that's how they show you that your life don't mean a damn thing in America. Because 5 Asians got attacked in a week, they had a bill passed on the Senate. The United States passed a bill to protect Asians. There's no Protect Hispanics Act. There's no bill to protect blacks. There's no bill to protect Native Americans. There's a bill for people whose lives matter in America. And that's why the Lord gave Peter keys. And the Lord gave the disciples keys. I mean, he gave them to Peter, but the instruction that was being taught is to follow the man that the Lord put in charge. One day Christ was going to leave, and Peter was going to take over using what he taught. That's how it's always been. It's always been that way. But to answer the brother's question, that's exactly what's being said. You understand? We loosened and praying for the Lord to loose plagues in heaven. We prayed for the Lord to send plagues against our enemies, and then the Lord sent the plagues, man. We've been praying these prayers for years, praying for brothers and sisters to wake up, man. The Lord heard and answered those prayers, man. Constantly working. You understand it? Meetings, all kind of things in class, and getting permits and going to court with internal affairs and the local police and the district attorney, going to court, getting paperwork, getting sued by local businesses, by the city, by the traffic court, paying tickets, getting this, permits, trying to stop us. We fighting to build the kingdom of heaven with the order that Christ set up. And we sent up those prayers, and the Lord going to send these plagues and these curses down, just like the Lord sent the blessings down to wake you brothers and sisters up to come into the truth. Just like at some point in time, the men before me was praying and sending up these things to wake me up so that I could come into the truth, and the brothers that came in when I could come in. So this is what the scripture is talking about, all right? To the brother that asked the question, that answered your question there. Was there any more on that? Just type in if it did. All right. Young man in Virginia Beach. All right, we're going to go ahead and move on. All right. Come. All right, so that's what it is. Now we're going to go back to Leviticus, the 20th chapter, and we're going to get some laws, man. This is a very important law. All of this freedom and things that Christianity teach, the Lord does not have open-ended freedom available. We're going to get into the Lord's laws on sex. You understand? Who you choose to have sex with is probably one of the most important, if not the most important decision in your entire life. You understand? It's a life or death decision. You understand? You can make a good choice and be set and be filled with blessings and benefits for the rest of your life, or you can lay down and have sex with a monster or a dragon or an animal and absolutely tie yourself to a beast for the rest of your life, man. Filled with all kind of suffering and madness, man. You understand? These are very important, an extremely important lesson to learn as a young brother or sister coming into the truth, man, especially if you are not already married. You understand? So we're going to get to, let's see what it starts, man. All right. We're going to start at Leviticus chapter 20, and we're going to start at verse 9. Cursive follow a mother. Leviticus, matter of fact, we're going to start at verse 10. Leviticus chapter 20 and verse 10. Salaki. We're going to start at verse 9. Like I said, Leviticus chapter 20 and verse 9. We're going to get that. Okay, Most High in Christ. That answers your question, brother. Everybody just make sure, again, y'all share these videos. Hit the like button, name, city, and state for attendance, man. Everybody should be in class. If you in Virginia, this is the Wednesday night mandatory law class. You understand? Everybody in Virginia should be in the law class every Wednesday for sure. All the troopers, all the officers, all the brothers, make sure y'all in this class every Wednesday. All right. So it says Leviticus chapter 20 and verse 9. It says, for everyone that curseth his mother, his father or his mother shall surely be put to death. Now let's see. Let's see where my scholars at. Brothers and sisters in class, learning, getting all kind of knowledge in class most of the week. You brothers and sisters, what does it mean to curse your mother or father? You got brothers, got sisters in here, you understand? Y'all type in, what does it mean to curse mother or father? What does that mean to curse your mother, curse your father? All right. We got in here. We got brothers, sisters in here. Yarash in here, Tazayat in here. Young man Virginia Beach in here. Brother in Woodbridge in here. Got sisters in here. All right. Troop in here. Ayan in here. Sister Shakal, Kaya, all in here. Y'all type in, what does it mean? Or what do you think it means to curse mother or father? What is this scripture talking about here? All right. To wish death upon them. All right. To dishonor them. Okay. Okay. To dishonor them. All right. To walk away. All right. Y'all type in. Salak, give me just a second. Y'all type in. Grab this book here. All right. I'll show y'all. Shalom, warrior. Shusha Brigata. All right. Big Dallas in here. To go against them means to disobey. Well, y'all bringing in some good answers. It's getting interesting. All right. Got all this to talk bad about them. All right. All right. Y'all bringing in some good questions. All right. It says to disobey, to go against them. All right. This is an excellent question just to get a mind frame and see what everybody is thinking. You understand? All right. So, yeah, the answers aren't necessarily wrong. I just want to see what everybody thinks there. These are good answers. Most of y'all answer good. So I just want to put into perspective so that you can get used to thinking in the truth. You understand? The Lord wants us to change the way that we think and process things. So when it says to go against them or to disobey them, all right, let's set an example. All right. It's time for Christmas. All right. Mom says, want y'all to go to the grocery store to buy that ham. You my daughter, you my son. You got to obey your mother. Love your mother. Obey me. Go and pick up these presents. Buy this Christmas ham. Go shopping for these Christmas gifts. Help me cook this Christmas dinner. All right. Are you supposed to obey them and go and buy the ham because his mom give you $20, run to the carry out, give me a shrimp dinner? Shalom, warrior. Shalom, is that a brother or sister? It's like I can't see it. Shawak, you understand? It's a brother. Shalom. Shusha Berkatah. All right. La'ah. Okay. So it's a little bit deeper. The question, the answers y'all gave are to what? Y'all type in on YouTube. Am I supposed to, if they say now, you understand, I know that I love my mother. I love my father, my granddaddy. You understand? I love my father. And he smokes cigarettes. And he say, son, or he'd say to you, daughter, you understand, run to the store and pick me up a pack of Newports. Pick me up a pack of Backwoods. You understand? It says la'ah. Some of y'all are saying la'ah. Y'all type in on YouTube, man. Y'all all in here. This is a class. This ain't church. We're not going to sing. We're not going to dance. We're going to do none of that. We're going to learn in here. Y'all type in. Dad wants you to go to the store. Now dad wants you to run to the store and pick him up a pack of Backwoods. You understand? Sister in North Carolina. Mom wants you to run to the store and get her a pack of Winston Long, Newport Box 100s. You understand? Wants you to run to the store. What are we going to say? Sister said, la'ah. Why? Why? You understand? It says to obey our parents. Why? Okay, sister in North Carolina. No sister there. Brothers, is okay. I see y'all saying la'ah on Facebook. Why? Why can I not? I thought I'm supposed to honor my mother and father. You understand? Why can I not go and get them this pork or this shrimp that they asking for? I'm supposed to obey them. I'm supposed to honor them. You understand? Why? Why can I not do this? Somebody type in. Y'all give me some answers. Y'all doing to what? One sister type in. Okay. All right. All right. Okay. I see. Y'all may have been. Okay. 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 I see some lawful daughters in here. Commander GEN.YAHANNA raising up some lawful daughters and some lawful sons in here. Okay. All right. The answers y'all gave were correct. You damn right. You damn right. Good precepts. Damn right, trooper, because it's against the laws of the Most High. That's the exact answer. Those are excellent answers there. We find out what it means to curse, you understand, or to punish by breaking the laws. Damn right, young brother in Virginia there, in Virginia Beach. We find out what it means to curse by the curses that the Lord gives to us. You understand? The punishments that the Lord gives to us. We find out what they are because they're written aforetime in the scriptures. Let's see if we can get curse in the Bible. C-U-S-H, C-U-P, C-U-R. All right. So now, this is one of our textbooks in the I.S.U.P.K. We're going to get it. All right. You see mine has been beat to hell. It's been through plenty of battles. It's still in good condition, though. You understand? This is Zondervan's Bible Dictionary. Our book listing is on the I.S.U.P.K. websites. We use these books because we are a real school. Unlike church, we're not singing and dancing. It's the Zondervan's Bible Dictionary. Mine is the compact one. You can get our full book listing on the I.S.U.P.K. website. We got tons of textbooks that we use, read, and teach out of. We also, the cause for many of those books now causing several $1,000s, which they did not cost when I first came into the truth many, many years ago. But a curse. All right. So in Zondervan's Bible Dictionary, to get the definitions of what words mean in the scriptures when the Bible was written, this is a Bible dictionary. Our oppressor changes the definition of words every few years, every few decades. You understand? Every few centuries, the definition of words are changed by our oppressor. So you need to know what they meant in the time that the scriptures was written. All right. So it says, curse, the reverse of to bless. One, Salakia, on the human level to wish harm or catastrophe, or on the divine to impose judgment. You understand? To impose judgment. Cursing of one's parents is sternly prohibited by the Mosaic regulations. Christ commanded those who would be his disciples to bless and curse not. You understand? Okay. So let's see. Born in the Christ body, the Mount of Western. Do we need the rest of that? Con. All right. To impose judgment or punishment. You understand? So it says on a human level to wish harm or catastrophe, meaning you don't curse your mother and father to wish harm or catastrophe on them. You understand? Now that we have the definition, which is what is needed to understand the scriptures, now we can go back and reread the verse again and insert the proper definition of what's in the scripture. All right. So now we're going to go back to Leviticus chapter 20 and verse 9 and insert the definition of curse, which is what the scripture is talking about. For everyone that curseth his father or mother, to put judgment on his father or mother, or to wish harm or catastrophe on his father or mother. You see white people do that all the time. Our oppressors' kids. I hate you, mom. I hate you, dad. I wish you died. I wish you died. I hate you so much. You understand? That's Esau. Esau hates his parents. The devil that the Bible speaks of. We are not allowed to behave like our oppressors. You see them hitting and beating on their mom, different things like that, beating on their dad, killing their fathers, killing their mothers, like you see in tons of movies, you understand? That's against the Lord. You and your parents are not equal. You understand? You're not equal to your parents. They're responsible for you getting here, wishing hurt or harm, Very important in Christianity, especially with Christian preachers teaching your moms and your aunts about your father, teaching to speak evil against your father. Tons of our people grow up without their father, never meet their father, never find out who their father is, raised their whole life by their mother, by grandma, by their aunts. It's very easy to take on that Christian spirit that says, you understand, shalom, shusha brakatham. All right. All right, Akim. Y'all back in Virginia, hit the school up, warrior. Plenty of work. All right. Shalom, shusha brakatham. All right. There's plenty of spirits that teach our people. These are the demons that Christianity puts on our people. Teaching you, well, your father wasn't there, to call him names. This is a deadbeat. They don't call moms deadbeats, which you should not, but just so that you understand, all of the Christian people that's in your ear, all of those mothers, aunts, and grandmothers, even Barack Obama took his shot at black men talking about their deadbeats who don't take care of their kids. What you never hear is mom being called a deadbeat because of all the babies that she's murdered in her womb. All of those 350 to 400,000 abortions that's happening every year by black women whose boxes have become a graveyard for all the babies that's losing their life, getting executed inside of her. You understand? That's against the Lord. You understand? Of course, if you were aborted, you don't get the opportunity to hate or curse your parents. The Lord has to take up that curse now for that blood that was spilled. You're damn right. So when it says to curse your father and your mother, even if you did not know your father, which many of us did not, is damn near the hallmark of being an Israelite if you are black or Hispanic. If you on a reservation, the chances that you will know your father is damn near like hitting the lottery. You might never get to meet your father. If you in the ghetto, you in the slums, you in the suburbs. Could be because your mother was so unbearable to be around that his love for you, for your mother and you, besides breaking her jaw and throwing her down a flight of steps in his anger because of how cruel and disrespectful she was towards him, he chose to just leave. Out of love, he chose to just leave, man. Many of our people will never know the story because mother is so much missed. See, in the I.S.U.P.K, we don't worship women. We don't worship mommy. You understand? We're not weak under mommy or wife or grandma, aunties, none of that nonsense. You can't serve the Lord and be weak under your mom or your grandma. What they gonna say, or your woman, she don't want you coming to camp, or mommy don't approve of you not shaving your beard, or grandma don't like your braids, or don't like you standing with masculinity like it's a pair of testicles between your legs and serving the Lord and standing for the Lord, rather than being a coward underneath of the word of mommy, who will allow all the goddamn child molesters to become mega millionaires in church and wants you to stop talking about it instead of protecting the children. You understand? Those two spirits can't go together. You understand? Christ started doing miracles. You didn't hear nothing else about his mother Mary. They teach you to worship the Virgin Mary, Holy Mary, Mother of God. That's a goddamn lie. God does not have a mother. And Christ turned water into wine at a dinner party one time at a wedding. Very rarely do you hear Mary saying anything. She got Christ here. That was her job. She didn't kill it. She delivered him, Most High in Christ. She fed him. She swallowed him. She got him up till he's strong so that Joseph can raise the man that he became. And you don't hear nothing else about Mary. You understand? That Christian spirit of being crippled by being weak up underneath of your mother, that's a demon that comes from slavery, where they would kill off the rough and the strong male and do it in front of everybody so that whoever was alive, the woman would raise the men and the sons to be afraid to have power, to be afraid to stand and be strong after seeing so many of the strong brothers be killed, that it would be in instinct. She would teach this son how not to be confrontational, how to be weaker and softer and more feminine about things, so that he would not stand in that power and that revolutionary spirit. Now, there's sisters in the I.S.U.P.K, you get that spirit put on you, they'll take on the right spirit. Of course, from being under the authority of a man that the Lord, of the man of God that he assigned. Because most of our sisters are raising children by themselves if they are in the world. That's the norm for all the tribes. You understand? So that there is what happened. But you are not to curse your mother and father, man. You're not to attack or wish death or catastrophe on your mother and father, hating your father, which is so very common and accepted, which ironically they have a Father's Day, a celebration to celebrate fathers, which is so cruel and evil of black people to even celebrate. And it's so cruel and evil in this. It's cruel and evil because most of our people grow up without their fathers. And for you to have a day that's set up to celebrate something that the majority of your brothers and sisters do not have, that is very cruel. It's very thoughtless, it's very heartless, it's very cruel, but it is not, but it is very Christian. You understand? For you to celebrate a Thanksgiving or a happy family celebration or a Mother's Day celebration, seeing as how all of these babies are being aborted, is a very cruel thing to these babies that's getting murdered. It's a very cruel thing to all these children being abused and molested by all of mommy's preachers and all of the men she chooses to have sex with all the goddamn time, in and out the house like a doctor's office, running through mommy. It's a very cruel thing to celebrate this. You understand? Especially seeing as how the black man is in prison and getting killed for child support. All of these families that we have that has failed. These holidays are set up to teach our oppressor to celebrate something for his culture. It's not set up for our people to celebrate what our oppressor is having good success at. Our families are not having good success. The parenting is not going well and successful. That's why our cities are filled with murder. The abortion clinics are filled with dead fetuses. The courthouse is filled with us in juvenile court, in divorce court, in marital court, in felony court, in drug court, all kinds of courts, because we are not having success as a nation of people. We should not have success for failures. Christianity teaches to approve and celebrate failures if you are Black, Hispanic, or Native American. You understand? But in here, we have families following the Lord's laws and commandments and his rules and the prophet that he set up, commanding Gen.YAHANNA, and the leadership that he provides. You understand? By teaching us to obey the Most High, you can learn how to have a successful family and marriage, man, and how to raise your children without all of the hell that our brothers and sisters fall into ignorantly, without the Spirit of the Lord, without being led by the prophets that the Lord set up. All right. So Leviticus 20:9, everyone that curseth his mother or father shall surely be put to death. You are not to curse your mother and father physically, curse or wish them ill or death. You are not to hit and beat on your mother and father. You are not to punish your mother and father, man, or execute judgment on your mother and father, except there is a law, which I'm going to get it, which is important that you understand this. All right, let's get that law. Worship, let's see. Worship is a law. Let's pull that. All right. Let me get that for you. Of course, y'all got any questions, y'all type it in. We'll get to it. All right. To serve other gods. Let's see. Secretly. Secretly. C-R-E-T. Serve other gods. Y'all look up other gods. That Willie Lynch letter, that sister there, that's one of the things. That Willie Lynch letter is not real. You understand? That Willie Lynch letter is a fictional letter. It is not real. It was never really written. It's not true. You understand? A lot of things like that are kind of myths that grow life to them in the Black and Hispanic community if things are repeated enough. The Willie Lynch letter, for the sister that mentioned it, the Willie Lynch letter is not real. It's not a real letter. It was never real. It wasn't a real letter that was written. It's just something that was made up over time. It's not a real thing. All right. So what is real is these laws, statutes, and commandments that the Lord gave our people, and the curses that he said would come on us, you understand, if we disobeyed him. Okay? So just get that real quick. So let's see. Well, house Negro and field Negro, they are real. Those were job or slaveries rather. A job is only what you do to build up your kingdom, to build up your nation. That's a job. The work you do in the truth, that's a job that you are doing. Slavery is what you do to build your oppressor's kingdom, just to survive, to pay bills, make ends meet, to get food, keep a roof and clothes. That's a slavery. That's not a job. You understand? The 9 to 5, your 6 to 10s, your overtimes, those are slaveries that we are on. Because, of course, if we were not in slavery under our oppressor, you would not be away from your family 15, 16 hours a day. Our children would not be forced to go and sit in a classroom or to be learning the philosophies and culture of the other nations of people, Christmas and LGBT and white history and Europe and all of that, and God bless America and Christianity. We would not learn these things if we were not enslaved. All right. But the light skin and the field Negro and the house Negro, those are real things. There was a Negro that was created to work in the field. You understand, he was darker. Of course, the sun would weigh heavily if you're out in the field. I don't know if you've ever worked in a farm. Everybody make sure you sign your name, city, and state for attendance. A lot of people, you understand, you waving everything. Your attendance is not counted if you do not sign in for attendance. You saying hi and shalom, that's great. Put your name, city, and state for attendance. Otherwise, your wave is not attendance. All right. Okay. But I'm gonna scroll up to your question. Give me just a second. But there are some Negroes that are better suited to work outside in the sun. The sun, of course, you would get darker if you did not have, enough protection. If you were not, eventually the sun was going to darken you. The sun would also burn you. If you cannot stand to be out in the heat without being burned and end up too sick to work, or just get whipped for not producing enough cotton, not doing enough work, it would be of no value to put you out into the sun to work if you aren't suited to work in the sun. That's why one of the reasons, other than biblical prophecy, why they had to come to the west coast of Africa to get the rest of the 12 tribes is because the tribe of Gad did not do well in slavery. He didn't do well working, you understand, slaving in the fields and different things. Tons of them died. They did not build up a good enough immune system to the white man's diseases. It's very filthy. Before we taught him to bathe and taught him medicine, you understand, and taught him all kinds of hygiene practices that are in the laws, statutes, and commandments that the Lord gave us, they did not have those. That's why the Black Plague broke out in Europe. And all of these plagues broke out because they did not know about sanitation and being clean and bathing every day and not taking dumps in the drinking water and not throwing feces out of the window and not eating the pork that eat the feces that you throw out of the window. They were very base men. You understand? We civilized, or as best civilized as they could be, all of the heathen nations when we were in slavery under them. Okay. So what the sister says, Salakia, meant they desired black women. That's how they came up with light skin. Came up with light. Salakia says, clarify just a little bit more. When you say they came up with light skinned, I'm not sure what you mean by they came up with light skin. They came up with the term light skin, or they came up with light skinned people. I'm not sure what exactly do you mean. Just type in to clarify that, Bubba Kushar. Sister that asked the question. All right. So let's move on here. All right. So you don't curse your mother and father. We're going to read that again. Leviticus chapter 20, verse 9. For everyone that curseth his mother or father shall surely be put to death. You're going to get put to death. All right. Let's get that law. People, type in a little bit more. I'm only getting pieces of what you are thinking. It's not clear. Light-skinned people. Are you saying they made up the concept of light-skinned people, or they made light-skinned people, meaning they made people to be light-skinned? Just type in just a little bit clear, Bubba Kushar. I'm not sure what you mean. All right. So the law on Deuteronomy 13:6, it says, if thy brother, the son of thy mother, or thy son, your own son, or or thy daughter, or the wife of thy bosom, your baby, your boo, you understand, babe, your woman, your wife that's close to you, or thy friend. This is a friend that you love dearly. You very close to him, you close to her, y'all friends, which is of thy own soul, meaning you love them like they're very near and close to you. You understand? You can have people that you love that you are not very close to. You can have people that you are related to that you're not very close to. And then there's a friend, there's someone, there's a wife, there's a daughter, there's a son, there's a mother, there's a friend that is as your own soul, meaning you're very close to them. You understand? That doesn't mean you don't love anybody else, because of course, love is not your feeling that you have towards someone. Love is the keeping of the law, statutes, and commandments. You are required by God to love all Israelites, to love all blacks, Hispanics. Even if I don't know you personally, I still cannot murder you, steal from you, have sex with your woman, or sell you weed. You understand? I'm required to love you. Love has nothing to do with how I feel about you personally. You understand? So when it says, which is as thine own soul, this means I personally am close to this person. Entice thee secretly, meaning this isn't something that's open, saying, let us go and serve other gods. Meaning, let's go serve other gods. Meaning, I've been looking into Islam. And, I've seen that, they talk about, Allah and, prayer and these things and stuff like that, man. And I think we should check it out, not really serious about it. We should check it. Or, I've been looking into, the worship and what they do here and how they go and serve this God. And, they go to church and believe that everybody is equal and the women and the men are equal. And, we should just go and be Christians, man. I got one of their crosses and things. And, I went to the church and I learned all of these things. Of course, now that judgment is not being passed. Something like that enticing you to worship another God. You understand? And the customs of the other nations are attached to the worship of their gods. Only a fool makes a god or a religion, which is the culture of that people and their God. Only a foolish person would take on the customs and the God of another nation of people. But so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans take on the customs and the gods of all people. They take on the Arabs' gods and their custom, and Ramadan and Eid, and you understand, and wearing the Muslim outfits and praying 5 times, slamming their head on the ground. That religion is about the customs of their people and their God. Well, that is a crime in the Bible. That's treason against the Most High. That's a crime against our people, because you will entice every other brother and sister. Remember, our people are like sheep. We're called the children of Israel. Our people think like children, and we're very social people. You understand? That's why if you were saying this would spread amongst our people. Just like if you make up a new dance, there's a dance challenge. Before you know it, there's a million videos of sisters doing all the challenges. The this challenge, the dance challenge, the Cardi B challenge, the silhouette, the bust it challenge, any challenge that comes up, the nay, the electric slide. Just like that, it'll be a million videos of our people all doing this challenge, because we are a very social people. That's why if you are going to start to secretly entice one of our people, that curiosity that a child has, without being raised properly, our people will be curious into what you're talking about. Oh, Christmas? Well, what's Christmas? Oh, the trees and the gifts? That sounds nice. Oh, Babylon and Nimrod? Okay. Christianity? Okay, that's nice. Without the spiritual covering and protection of the men that the Lord set up to rule and dominate and put the authority of the Lord to have the world based around what the Lord says is right and what's wrong, what the Lord says about his laws, statutes, and commandments that govern our life, our people end up in Islam, Buddhism, Rastafarian, Christianity, you know, all kind of things, Satanism, witchcraft, voodoo, we in everything because our people have been enticed to serve other gods. So it says, if your friend, your buddy that's very close to you, that you love dearly, secretly entice you, saying, let's go and serve other gods, which thou hast not known, me, you don't know these gods. Thou nor thy fathers. Verse 7, mostly or namely of the gods of the people which are round about you. You looking up and you seeing their gods and their customs and their culture, and you get curious. And now they want to go and join their gods and their culture nigh unto thee or far from thee, a culture that you don't see every day. You understand? From one end of the earth even unto the other, thou shalt not consent unto him. Don't listen to them, nor hearken unto them. Neither shall thy eye pity them, neither shalt thou spare them, neither shalt thou conceal him, but thou shalt surely kill him. Thine hand shall be first upon him to put him to death, afterwards the hand of all the people. And thou shalt stone him with stones that he die. The Lord is not multicultural. The Lord is not, open to everything. The Lord is not, we accept all faiths and all beliefs and all alternative ways to live. That's not the God of this Bible. That's a death penalty offense. Even mentioning that you want to serve another God and telling another person to come with you, that's an Israelite, that brother or sister that's close to you, you're supposed to go and tell the men of the Lord. They're trying to tell us to go serve Islam. They're trying to tell us to go be Christian. She told me, understand about Buddhism, Rastafarianism, about getting dreadlocks and smoking weed, man. Like, we can't have that. You understand? And when you tell the men of the Lord, the judgment is they get stoned. But not just they get stoned, you now are the one that throws the first stone that hits them before everyone else throws stones at them until they die. That's a death penalty offense. The Lord is not open to that. That's not something that's accepted. That's a horrible crime, and it leads to generations of confusion after it's been accepted to smoke weed and worship Shiva. Now, half of our race is strung out on drugs because we took the culture, because one brother enticed his friend to go now and serve Shiva and get smoke weed and grow dreadlocks. Now it has taken hold of our culture to where you think dreadlocks is a black thing. You think smoking weed is a black thing. When what was supposed to happen, if we were in our land and we were obeying the Most High, and when we get back to our land, this is the spirit that the Lord wants us to have. That is unacceptable. You trying to tell me about how great Christianity and Islam and the worship of the other gods are, that's unacceptable. You understand? Your friend, your mother, your brothers and sisters, man, that's what the Lord is saying. But you are not to curse your father and mother. You're not to punish your father and mother. You understand? Just to clear that up. You're not to wish death on them, to do harm to your father and mother, get revenge on them. Well, you wasn't there for me, or you did this to me. So now that you old and can't take care of yourself, now I'm going to get my revenge. Now you're not allowed to get revenge on your father and mother or any Israelite. Precept, Leviticus 19 and 17 and 18. Thou shalt bear no grudge against the children of thy people, neither avenge thyself. I'm paraphrasing. That's against the Most High. You understand? So now let's get into the Lord's laws on sex here. Very important laws. Very important to learn. Leviticus chapter 20 and verse 10. It says, and the man that committeth adultery with another man's wife, meaning this man goes and has sex with a woman who belongs to another man. How do you become a wife? Let's type in, y'all. How do you become a wife? How do you make a woman your wife? How does that happen? Because this is a very, you understand, everybody signing for attendance, name, city, and state. I see a lot of waving, everybody waving, Most High in Christ. Y'all tuning into the class, but make sure you sign in for attendance. A wave is not signing in for attendance if you want to be counted. If not, just watch the class to why y'all tuning in, Most High in Christ. How do you become a wife? How does a woman become a wife? You understand? Let's get that, man. Very important laws. Christianity does not teach what marriage or what it means to be a husband or a wife. You understand? Officer Yaraj Shamal just taught a class on Monday. Y'all go back and check that out on marriage, on a family, on marriage. You understand? Very important, very spiritual. That lines up right with this topic here that we getting ready to get into for this last half of the class here. All right? Let's get that. All right, I see one person typing in here. All right, let's see. Just give a few moments to type that in. All right. All right, that's correct. If you're a woman, that's correct. We're gonna get that, and then we're gonna go over. All right. Committed. Okay. To wife. That's correct. That's correct. All right. So we're going to move on from time's sake. Sex, that's correct. Sex is marriage. You understand? Not a ring, not a piece of paper. You understand? Not a dress. You know, not a party, not the ceremony. The sex is marriage. You understand? There's no law against having a party or a ceremony. There's no law against it. You understand? But our customs, the important part is sex is marriage. You understand? Whether you change your mind afterwards, if you don't like the woman afterwards, or you don't want to be with the man afterwards, or y'all have an argument afterwards, or now you understand it was just a party, it was just the summertime, or you just won the Super Bowl, or you became the champions, or it's your party, or whatever, or you were high, whatever the case is, none of that matters. You lay down, damn right, sis, you lay down and have sex with a man. That is your husband if you are a woman until the day that you die or the day that he dies. You understand? Y'all together. That's permanent. There's no getting out of that. You understand? If you are a woman, you get one man, one shot your entire life. You don't get a second man. If that first man does not die or you do not die, then you are tied to that man. All right? So sex is marriage. All right. So now what it says here, marriage is sex between a man and a woman. That's why we're getting the laws on sex in the Bible. All right. Marriage, if you are a woman, marriage is you having sex with a man. You are married to that man. If you are a man, marriage is you having sex to a woman. That's marriage. Marriage is not two men laying down having sex with each other. That's not marriage. That's not real. That's an abomination before the Most High. You understand? Marriage is not two women laying down trying to have sex with each other, poorly equipped to get the damn job done, which is why the white man will sell you a fake rod so that you can pretend that you're a goddamn man, because the Lord did not equip a woman to lie down and deal with another woman the way that the Lord equipped a man. It's absolute foolishness, but our oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of. You understand? So now we're going to get into that. Leviticus chapter 20 and verse 10. And the man that committeth adultery with another man's wife, meaning he has sex with a woman who already has a man. You understand? If you are a man, there are very important things that you need to find out about a woman before you decide to have sex with her. Extremely important. The first thing you want to find out is she an Israelite? Is she a so-called, is her father a Black, Hispanic, or Native American man? And you have to find out, and you have to get specific answers, because this society is filled with confusion and foolishness. You understand? Somebody's mixed. There are no mixed people. You understand? You are whatever your father is. If your father is so-called Negro or so-called Native from North, South, Central America, or the Caribbean, then you are an Israelite. A so-called Negro, a so-called Afro-American, a so-called West Indian, a so-called Haitian, you understand, and you are an Israelite. If a woman is not sure, you want to find out. You do not want to go now and deal with some heathen and find out that she lied, that her father is really some some white man from France who was visiting Jamaica at the time, or who moved to Jamaica. Oh, my father's Jamaican. Oh, my, no, you need to get specific, because remember, we are the children of righteous men. You understand? And we need to understand our lives are based around the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. We cannot just go and join ourselves to anyone. If you go and have sex with a whore or some white woman or some Asian or African or Arab woman, then you join them to this body. You join the rest of us to a whore. You understand? You join the rest of us to a heathen. You understand? You now bring in the difficulty and the issues that come with half of your family, you understand, or a portion of your children being raised in the culture of a heathen, as opposed to being raised as an Israelite. We all keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments. Now you create something that the Lord did not intend, which is confusion. Now, half of the culture of these children that you have made now with some heathen are going to have to decide in a battle if they're going to take the culture of mommy or daddy and be an Israelite, or be a slave, or be the illegals, or be the Indians, the people conquered and put on reservations, or if they want to be Barbie and want to be Ken and Superman and Batman and Spider-Man, or if they want to be the last dragon, or if they want to be, you know, follow after Muhammad and the Arabs in their culture, because you were not wise about who you laid down and had sex with, and you have joined us to a heathen. You understand? You've joined this family, our people, to a heathen, which ultimately could later bring in these heathens' customs when your spouse or your husband, if you are a woman, or your wife, if you are a man, when they start to teach their children about the gods of their forefathers, about Krishna and Ra and Buddha and all of this nonsense, now you will have to contend with that also in your own home. Now that child who's an Israelite will either be ostracized amongst the heathen's children, like that sister Naomi Osaka. She is a Haitian. Her father is a Levite. She full well understands and has been treated as such that she is not an Ammonite or an actual Japanese woman. But because her father laid down and had sex with a Japanese woman, now here she is a Haitian, a sister, a daughter of the tribes of Israel, of the children, people of the Lord, now being raised in a heathen society under heathen culture with heathen gods, with heathen children and people who hate her because of her hair and her skin color and her Negro-like superpower abilities to be an athlete that the Chinese and Japanese do not have. You understand? Just as a sidebar, so you realize the superhuman power and strength is with blacks and Hispanics. The Chinese and the Japanese are not with superpowers like they paint in these cartoons and these movies, man. You understand? Some white boy with a news camera is going to go to all of their secret spots and learn all of their ancient martial arts and go and do it in the UFC and get rich and be the master over all of it, like that. You understand? Is not super special. That's Hollywood. They put those special effects in things, man. Anything you see a heathen do, someone who is black, Hispanic, or Native American can do it much better in a shorter period of time in most cases, if they did not learn it from us originally and then just make it a culture of themselves. We are the chosen people of the Lord. We are the special people. God's chosen people he made above all the other people that he created on the face of the earth in Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 6. All right. So that's important there. The Lord wants us to understand you do not have sex with another man's woman. You meet a woman, you want to find out what is her father. You understand? If she giving you silly, dumb answers, you might want to be cautious. You understand? Is your father a white man? Oh, he's Spanish. Okay, great. All right, Spanish. Spanish how? Spanish like the Negroes that the white man from Spain put in slavery? The Indians that they put in slavery? Like, what do you mean? Then she'll start to answer some more questions. You want to investigate, because a woman that you are dealing with is a very important decision that you will make. Tons of brothers in jail over child support warrants did not realize how important that decision would make. Tons of brothers sitting with nothing, working, paying half of their check, you understand, to alimony payments for some disgusting whore who's having sex with men in their house that he is still paying for, with full custody of their children, with the car that he bought and all of his salary going to pay her for alimony. That's what this wicked kingdom and society gives an evil woman the power to do, man. That's what your ring and your piece of paper, you understand, and that birth certificate that you sign it off gives a woman the power to do evil in this society. The Lord does not give a woman that power. You understand? All right. So you want to find that out. She's an Israelite. That's your first step. You want to find if she's single. Plenty of sisters are confused about what it means to be single. You understand? Single does not mean you're not in a committed relationship currently. That's what many sisters will say in the world. To them, you know, having friends with benefits or a sex partner, you understand, is not being in it, is not marriage. You know, you're not joined to anybody. We just doing this, you know, just for time to go by until one of us gets in a serious relationship or something like that. That many sisters in the world will consider that single. Or, you know, we just, you know, we meet up every now and then and, you know, we just have sex, but I'm not in a relationship. That's marriage. You understand? You're married to that person. Of course, in most cases, once you mention sex is marriage, most whores will run away from you. You won't hear from them anymore. And thank the Most High for it. You just avoided child support and herpes and every other horrible thing that the Lord gives a whore that is so rampant in the Black, Hispanic, or Native American community, man. The curses that are loosed on us for breaking these laws that we're reading here, all right? So we coming up close to 9. We're going to go over the time. We got a little bit late start with the technical difficulties. Y'all just hang in there. We're going to go over the time, all right? All right. So now it says, you want to find out, does she have a man? You understand? You got to ask questions. Later on down the line, you may find that she lied about not having a man. Or her man was in jail. Once he gets out of jail, then you'll stop hearing from her. Or different questions and things, because our people do not consider sex as marriage. You understand? I never forget this. You understand? Dealing with sisters, you got to understand that's what it means to be single. You understand? Or we can still be friends, or we can still hang out. I remember telling a sister this in the world, man. Telling a sister this, since, of course, Commanding General Yahanna has raised up men to understand the wiles of the devil and to keep the Lord's laws, statutes, and commandments. Telling the sister says, yes, I'm single, okay. And then later on down the line, the sister mentions this boyfriend. She said, well, yeah, well, you know, I'm single because, you know, me and my boyfriend, we not really together. We broke up. Okay, well, when did y'all break up? Oh, we broke up about 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks? That's not single. That ain't single. Y'all break up, have a fight, and don't talk for 2 or 3 weeks. You understand? The next holiday come around, y'all back having sex again like y'all never left. Like in a Christian's mind, that is what being single means. And I'm explaining it this way because you may hear these things in your life. You may hear these things. And then she said, well, we can still be friends. You know, I got a couple of friends. Say, well, when you say friends, what do you mean you got a couple of friends? You know, I met this guy and then we go out and, you know, we hang out and, you know, we have sex sometimes. He come and stay over at my crib and everything. But you and I can still be friends. I said, we can still be friends for what? So he can shoot me when I'm with you coming out of the bar at 1 o'clock in the morning, wondering why his woman is with me. This is why a ton of brothers get killed in the Black, Hispanic, and Native American community, not understanding these laws that the Lord put out about sex. You do not belong with another man's woman. You should not be spending time with another. Oh, he's cool. He don't mean nothing about it, man. He not going to say something. It's cool. You know, he understands. We have friends. The Lord will put a spirit on him to kill you. You understand? That judgment comes from the Lord. The Lord may also put the spirit on him to kill you too, sister. That judgment also comes from the Lord. The scriptures say there be spirits created for vengeance. Like the Lord said, put demons on people to go and get revenge for disobeying his laws. Nobody teaches this to our people. That's why so many brothers get killed all the time. Tons of times you wonder, man, why they killed his sister, man? This innocent sister, she didn't do anything to anybody. She was so nice. She was so sweet. She didn't do nothing. The Lord kills our people for sinning against him. A ton of our people die for breaking laws that we don't realize this is a death penalty offense. You may thinking you free and having hot girl summer or city girl, or you free to go and do whatever you want, or not happy in the situation, or you can do bad by yourself, or woman thou art loose, or grandma told you you ain't ready to settle down, or mom said, you know, you got to go out and be free, or you listen to Cardi B or Megan Thee Stallion and they tell you, you know, don't nobody own you or whatever. Listen, you're gonna get you could end up getting yourself killed and your kids killed. You got kids, you want to leave the man, you tired now, he ain't doing what you want, you ain't happy in the situation, you go find you another man. You could find Ike Turner that's gonna beat your sons and beat your daughter and beat you and rape everybody. There are spirits created for vengeance. The Lord is not playing about these laws. Satan is an angel. He is an angel in charge of demons. The demons are evil angels, angels that are in charge of doing the wicked, the evil things that the Lord sends them to do. You understand? Let's get that precept real quick. Create evil. You understand? We get that precept, man. Isaiah chapter 45 and verse 7 says, I form the light and create darkness. Meaning you see light outside, the Lord made the light that you see. You see darkness, the absence of light, the Lord created the darkness. In Christianity teach you all kind of witchcraft and nonsense that darkness comes from evil and, you know, evil and the Lord's light doesn't shine and that's why it's dark, and a whole bunch of spooky nonsense and horror movie nonsense that the Christianity puts all kind of witchcraft on our people to put a bunch of slave fear, a bunch of religious nonsense and fear in our people to be afraid of everything except sinning against the Lord. There's no fear there. You understand? So the scripture, Isaiah 45 and 7 says, I form the light and create darkness. I make peace, meaning if there's peace around and there's peace in the air, and create evil. The Lord says, I, the Lord, do all these things, meaning the Lord creates evil. You understand? Christianity does not teach our people that. The Lord creates evil. You said, no, the Illuminati made this. The white man did this. The Lord did it. You understand? The Illuminati came up with this. Or it's the vaccine. It's this and no. The Lord create evil and he make peace. You understand? Something evil happened. You understand? Nothing happens without the Lord's approval. The Lord has councils going on constantly in heaven where he's deciding with the angels that do evil and the angels that do good on the left and the angels that do good on the right and the wicked angels on the left. All of them obey the Lord. The chief angels that's in charge of certain things, in charge of healing, Rapaya Allah, that's in charge of warfare, Mayaka Allah, you understand? All the chief angels sitting up in heaven, and then the chief angel that's in charge of the evil angels, that send demons and wickedness and evil and plagues and shootings and murders and kidnappings, all of the evil things that happen. An angel does this because the Lord sent him to do it. You understand? Amos chapter 3 and verse 6, just another precept. Shall a trumpet be blown in the city? This is asking a question. And the people not be afraid? Meaning when you hear a trumpet, isn't everyone going to be alarmed? There will be a trumpet blown today. You have the police siren, the ambulance, the fire truck. You hear the fire alarm go off. When an alarm is blown, aren't the people going to take notice? What's happening? What's going on? Where's the fire truck? Where's the ambulance? Is it an emergency? The people will be alerted. They'll be afraid. The same way that you would hear a trumpet or an alarm and the people would be afraid is asking the same question or making the same comparison. Shall there be evil in a city? Meaning something evil happened in a city? Anything evil that you can think of, that's evil in the city. Every evil thing that you can think of happening, that's evil. Shall any evil be in a city? Shall there be evil in a city, and the Lord have not done it? Meaning the same way that a trumpet would make people be alarmed and afraid is the same way that evil happens in the city, but it can't happen unless the Lord give the order. Verse 7 says, surely the Lord God, or the Most High Power, will do nothing, meaning the Lord isn't going to do anything. But remember, if, ands, or but, the conjunctions, they're extremely important when you see them in the scriptures. The Lord isn't going to do anything, but he revealeth his secret unto his servants, the prophets. Meaning he tell the prophets ahead of time what evil is going to happen. And he tell the prophets to go and tell the people, if you don't stop this, this is the evil that's going to happen. If you go ahead and do this, understand the Lord could send this evil. You understand? The Lord could send this evil. All right? All of these things. That's why you hearing from a prophet of the Lord the same warnings that it just talked about. Most of our people never wanted to hear the prophets of the Lord. They just wanted to be able to sin against the Lord. Even when we were in our own land, that's why the Lord kicked our people out. We wanted to join all nations together and have integration and get high and eat pork, have Christmas, cut down trees and decorate them and sing to them and go and join Egypt and have their culture and worship the sun, the moon, and the stars and the zodiac and the queen of heaven, that weed smoking. You understand? We wanted to do that to be like the other nations. Now the Lord has given us what it truly means to follow the other nations. In the ghetto, them ruling over us, they got businesses, buying our houses, buying our communities, deciding what they're going to pay us, when they're going to give us the opportunity to get a day off of work, how long you can be with your children, what is an acceptable education, what is not, where you can and can't build your house, where you can and can't live, what clothes you can and can't wear, making laws so that they can kill and murder us and not be punished for it. That's the results of what we desired to join the other nations that the prophets was warning us about for centuries, until the Lord finally said, the hell with it. This is the warning. Now it's going to happen. That's what's happening here. And just another one, Psalm 78 and 49 says, he cast upon them, meaning on our people, the fierceness of his anger, meaning not just his anger, his full anger he cast on our people. Wrath, he's furious, indignation, his hatred for the way that we live it, that homosexuality that blacks and Hispanics didn't accept it, a man dressing up like a woman that we didn't accept it, that Christian church, that child molesting religion that our people didn't accept it, being weak up underneath of your woman, worshiping her as God and being up underneath of her. That's disgusting unto the Lord. Being a drug dealer, getting high, smoking weed and cigarettes and pills, selling dope to each other, kidnapping, murdering, raping, all of these evil things, these things that our people done took on, joining these other nations, voting and evil treason against Christ, choosing your own leaders versus obeying the leader that the Lord set up for us, which is Commander General Yahanna. The Lord said he cast the fierceness of his anger, his wrath, his indignation, and trouble. This is why we in the shelters, why we getting kicked out, why our communities getting gentrified, why we got all these health problems, why we getting killed at traffic stops, why they targeting our people, hunting our people, while all the immigrants in America, but the Chinese and the East Indians is the majority of the illegals in major cities that the White Man Statistics Bureau said is true, but they only harassing so-called Hispanics. Because we disobeying the Lord by sending evil angels, meaning these are angels. An evil angel is known as a demon. The Lord sends evil angels among them or among us. You understand? That's what the scriptures is talking about. Why does the Lord send them? The Lord sends them because we breaking his laws, man. All right. So now let's get back and run through some of these laws here. This Leviticus chapter 20 and verse 10. And the man that committeth adultery with another man's wife, he lay down and have sex with another man's wife, even he that committeth adultery with his neighbor's wife, meaning his brother's wife. Meaning if you have sex with a woman and she's not a sister, which you should never do, which is a sin against the Lord, and it is a crime against your people, a crime against your brother by going now and laying with a heathen woman instead of laying with his daughter. That's a crime. It's a crime against all of our people that now you've put this other nation of people, you join him unto us, or you join her and her people unto our people. That's against the Lord, man. And you put that child in a situation as well, which is one of us, that you put them in danger in this situation because you went now and had sex with a heathen woman. You understand? Or his neighbor's wife. You lay down and have sex with your brother's wife. You cannot have sex with another man's wife. A man cannot give you permission to have sex with his wife, like a pimp. You understand? You cannot be a swinger. Tons of brothers and sisters like swinging. It's popular. You understand? You having sex with another man's woman. Y'all do a wife swap. Our oppressor is so evil and such a devil that they make a TV show called Wife Swap. Anybody ever heard that show? Wife Swap? Y'all type in. Y'all heard that show on Facebook, on YouTube? Y'all heard of Wife Swap? Where they swap spouses. They send it. They take a man from his family with his wife, and then put a man from another family with his wife, and then they put two men in another man's household together. Our oppressor make a show, you understand, and put it on TV. Come, wife swap. That's evil. That's wickedness on another level, but it's so common because our oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of. That's what devil means. You would think it's on daytime TV. They got the makeup on. Everybody is smiling. They got the kids into it. It's got advertisements. Sunday night, Monday night, primetime television. Will Jill and Dan get together? Big fight between Daisy and Davon. Let's see how it's going to turn out. Tune in at 8 p.m. on Wife Swap or Husband Swap. All kind of nonsense. They switching wives. That's ridiculous. Switching with whose wife? Who wife going where? My wife? Your wife? Whose wife? No. That's against the Lord, but our oppressor and Christianity promotes this amongst our tribes, amongst the Hispanic brothers and sisters. That's popular. You understand? In a lot of places in Central and South America and in Mexico. Then you turn around and wonder, popular, you having sex with another man's wife, or they'll go somewhere and then pay you or pay a brother to have sex with their wife. White men, old rich white men famous for that. They sit and watch you have sex with their wife, man. All kind of nonsense, man. They damn right, brother. That was an actual TV show. It was a TV show. You can go and look this up on YouTube now. They promote this madness that's against the Lord. You understand? And then you turn around and wonder, all of these evil that we doing against the Lord, the Christian church has never taught us about this. So you wonder, damn, the police just came and just murdered 25 people in Brazil. Damn, they got 10,000 murders in Mexico, 20, 30 murders a day in El Salvador and Honduras and Guatemala. The Lord got laws. You are not free to just go. You're not free to be a prostitute. You can't go and have sex with multiple men because this is how, you put food on the table. This is how you keep the lights on and take care of your kids. This is the evil that comes when the wicked beareth rule. When wicked Christian leaders, whether they another nation or our own people, this is why all of our people have to be under the righteous leadership that the Lord set up. The righteous leader that the Lord appointed, which is Commanding General Yahanna, which put men up in authority underneath of him to deal with all of the issues and taking care of all the 12 tribes everywhere that we are. You understand? Like, that's how important it is. Now, not knowing better, you understand, just like if you don't know the speed limit and you driving around thinking it's 55 and it's really 35, when the police stop you, they're not going to take and just say, oh, well, you didn't know that you were doing 30 miles over the speed limit. That doesn't mean you didn't break the law. If you got a gun and you defending your life or defending yourself and you don't know the gun laws for your state on defending yourself, in your mind, you may just think, well, somebody broke in my house and, I killed them. I found somebody snooping around my property trying to break in and I took my rifle and I shot him and I killed him and I called the police. If you don't know the laws, you understand, you could be breaking laws and not realizing and still end up thinking you doing what's okay and what's right and still falling under the penalty and the punishment of breaking that law. You understand? That's very important. Some states you don't need a concealed carry license to carry your firearm. Some states you got to have a gate around your property in order for you to shoot someone trying to break into your land. Some states you can't just kill someone that break into your house. Some states, if they trying to leave and they end up dying outside the house, you're going to be charged with a crime. Like, you have to know the laws. As a people, our people do not learn laws. Our people don't know laws because spiritually we are without laws ourselves, because the Christian church has separated us from knowing God's laws. You understand? The Christian church taught us we didn't have to keep God's laws. So we don't know so much about how important that it is to know what the laws are, and we get penalized constantly. Don't know the laws about vehicles we buy. Don't know the laws about houses that we buy, about credit cards that we get, about mortgages. Like, our people are so ignorant of so many things because we function as slaves, repeating what we've heard, and we function on the belief that everything is just going to work out and hope for the best. Like, that's not the way that the Lord wants our people to function. That's not the way that the Lord created life to be. That's what life became, following men that the Lord did not set up. Why it's so imperative that all of our people get in the I.S.U.P.K. You understand? So we're going to go a little bit longer. So it says in Leviticus chapter 20 and 10, and the man that committeth adultery with another man's wife, even he that committeth adultery with his neighbor's wife, the adulterer, which is the man, and the adulteress, which is the woman, shall surely be put to death. You die for that, man. That's a death penalty offense. Now, if in the past you've had sex with a brother, with another man's woman, and you didn't know better, you understand now that you know, the Lord will hold you accountable now. That didn't mean you still could not be killed for breaking the law, whether you thought you were right or not. You understand? She could say, the relationship is over. We just went our own separate ways and that's it, man. Like, you got to understand. Like, the Lord's law supersedes whatever we think as a people. You understand? All right, verse 11. And the man that lieth with his father's wife have uncovered his father's nakedness. You're not supposed to have sex with your father's wife. Your father's woman, however many wives he got, you cannot have sex with her. Your stepmother, you understand, having say the white man that enticed our people into his nasty incestuous lifestyle, you understand, having sex with your stepmother, that is unlawful. You cannot just go and put your rod wherever the hell you want and just do anything that you want. The Lord going to kill you. You understand? You're going to end up getting gunned down. It's going to be a random shooting to people, just people just getting shot. While Christians are praying that these shootings and these murders stop in the black community, no one asks why they are happening. And when we go to tell Christians at camp speakers in the UPK and in classes and make posts, these Christians don't want to hear a damn thing about the Lord's laws that he will kill us over breaking. But they are the same ones that sit and cry and light candles and say, stop the violence, and say we need peace and put the guns down. But they won't stop having sex with another brother's woman. They won't stop having sex with a sister and then throwing her away because, this was just something to pass the time until I got serious about a relationship. You just friends with benefits. You understand? Like, that gets you killed. The Lord will have somebody kill you for that. Like, our people don't realize that. And most of our people don't want to know. That's why all these shootings and killings is happening. It ain't all about drugs. A good percentage of it is about drugs, which the Lord kill us for as well. But all of it is not about drug related or gang related, man. You understand? Now, verse 12. If a man lie with his daughter-in-law, meaning this is your son's woman, you have sex with your daughter-in-law, both of them shall surely be put to death. They have wrought confusion. That's confusion. Trying to guess who the father is, Well, it looked like the son, but the son and the father look alike. I don't know whose baby it is. That's confusion, man. You're not supposed to have sex with your son's woman. You're going to get killed. The Lord going to make sure you get killed. Whether it's you get pulled over at a traffic stop and the police break your neck or shoot you in the back 20 times while you in handcuffs, or if you in the neighborhood and you just chilling, coming back from the grocery store and somebody shooting in the neighborhood and 3 bullets hit you through the wall and through the door and you end up bleeding out, the Lord is going to kill you for that. You understand? The Lord is going to kill us for that. This is why there's so many shootings and murders in Newport News, in Hampton, and Virginia Beach, and Richmond. This is why it keeps happening. There's a reason. The problem is nobody ever wants to ask the real men of the Lord why. We telling our people all the time and nobody wants to hear it. They want to go to church where they can be lied to. And those lies are going to cost our people their lives, man. All right? You lie with your daughter-in-law, their blood shall be upon them, meaning you getting killed. The reason why it says their blood shall be upon them, because when somebody dies, that blood has to be answered for. I'm going to get that precept for y'all, and we're going to wrap it up in just a little bit, all right? That blood, look up blood crieth in the book of Genesis, you understand? Genesis chapter 4 and verse 10, this is the precept. It says, and he said, this is the Lord speaking to Abel, speaking to Cain when Cain murdered Abel. It said, and he said, what hast thou done? This is the Lord asking him. Now, of course, the Lord knows what took place, but the Lord is asking a question like, what the hell did you do? You understand? The voice of thy brother's blood crieth unto me from the ground. When you kill somebody, the blood of that person, you don't just die and the blood get washed up and the CSI and the detectives come out and they hose the blood down on the street and that's just it. You know, the murders in the neighborhood, you get some teardrops, you can get you a tattoo that just make everything tight. No, that blood has to be answered for. That's a foreign concept to Christianity. You don't just get to, hug and just have the funeral and light candles and paint a picture on the wall and wear the rest in peace Kiki t-shirts and rest in peace Big Smoke and they did my dog wrong. No, that blood has to be answered for. You commit a murder, you commit an abortion, you shed blood, you take a life. That blood requires to be answered. That blood goes to the Lord spiritually. And the Lord require an answer for that blood. It don't go away because you put somebody in prison for 20, 30 years. No, that blood has to be answered. The Lord sent demons on that city, on that community, on those families, on that neighborhood for shedding blood. That's a very serious offense, but it's so damn common. Nobody look at it like it's something wrong. It's just, man, it's just a shame. Nobody thinks that they have to personally do something to fix it or make it stop. That's what we just go and pray. Praying is not fixing it. Praying, the Lord didn't say pray and everything would be fine. The Lord require action to fix these things, man. You have to join the force. The same way there's a force to teach you it's acceptable to have sex with another man's woman. It's acceptable to get high, commit adultery. It's acceptable for murders to just happen in the ghetto. Well, it's just a bad part of town. Richmond is just bad. Newport News is just bad. The Jackson Ward is just bad. Portsmouth is just bad. It's just bad over there. That's the bad part. Brambleton, it's just bad on Tidewater. It's just bad over there on St. Paul. It's just bad. Nah, it's bad because demons are leashed because everybody is disobeying the Lord. It don't happen for no reason. It's got nothing to do with just being poor or just where you're living. You understand? All right. So it says, the voice crieth unto the Lord for blood, verse 11, Genesis 4:11, and now art thou cursed from the earth. Meaning that put a curse on you. You ain't allowed to just go and murder somebody just because, it's your rap career or you out in the streets. Ain't nobody gave you no goddamn permission to take nobody's life. You think you a killer. You think you the shooter. The Lord put an evil spirit on a man to take another man's life. And later on, if you don't change, put another wicked spirit on somebody else to take his life. You understand? They are spirits created for vengeance. In the Lord anger for people disobeying him, he sends evil angels. You understand? The Lord does these things. It says, thou art cursed from the earth, which hath opened her mouth to receive thy brother's blood. That blood goes into the earth. This is spiritual. You don't just take or shed blood just because that's what you want to do, or that's the hell of it, or you saw a movie. That has consequences, not just on you, on everybody that's around you and in that area. The land will be cursed if this issue doesn't get resolved. One brother showed up missing in the scriptures. That's a law. If a brother died and he from a city and he somewhere else and don't nobody claim what happened with this body, the men of that city is going to meet up and they're going to have a discussion. Everyone that's in every household, that's in every part of that town, they got to give an account for where everyone in their family was. Somebody responsible for this body. There's an examination. Somebody got to be held accountable. This just ain't allowed to go on, because when word from his city find out that he came to visit your city and he died there and don't nobody know what happened and somebody didn't kill him, everybody from this city is now going to come and make war with your city. Killing somebody is not to be taken lightly at all. Slavery made us dying not a big issue, but it's a huge issue to the Lord. All right. So it says here, we're going to wrap this up here. You understand at verse 13, if a man also lie with mankind, Leviticus 20 and 13, if a man lie with mankind as he lies with woman, meaning you lay down and have sex with a man or try to have sex with a man the way you're supposed to have sex with a woman, both of them have committed an abomination. The Lord didn't say be proud. The Lord didn't say you get a month, have a march, put up a flag, get rights. The Lord didn't say none of that. He said both of them have committed an abomination. They shall surely be put to death. The Lord is saying this. We're not killing nobody in UPK. We ain't harming anybody. We'll defend ourselves. You understand? But we're not out here passing judgment like you Christians like to say, don't judge, don't judge. This is the judgment. We're not passing judgment on anybody, on drug dealers or murderers or homosexuals or adulterers. Passing judgment would be to go out and stone or kill them. We're not killing anybody. We're not taking anyone's lives. Though it would be right according to the law, it is not right because Christ said, wait ye upon me. You ain't been given any authority to execute judgment. You understand? For sinning against the Lord. That comes with Christ. You understand? Or when the Lord give that order. All right. It says, if a man lie with mankind as he lie with a woman, both of them have committed an abomination. They shall surely be put to death. Their blood shall be upon them. What is that blood? What is the death that the Lord is sending? That is AIDS in the Bible. Plenty of black, oh, you know, the white man made AIDS up with monkeys. He made AIDS up, you know, having sex with animals. And AIDS started in Africa to this, all of this old kind of nonsense and Illuminati talk that they came up with. If there is a disease that the white man, our oppressor, or anyone can make, that it will work to kill our people, it comes from the Lord. The Lord kill and he make alive. You understand? Their blood shall be upon them. This is the Lord saying he's going to give homosexuals and lesbians AIDS in the Bible. You understand? This is the scripture right here. You understand? 14, if a man take a wife and her mother, you cannot have sex with a woman and also have sex with her mother. It is wickedness. They shall be burnt with fire. You go, you have sex with a woman and her mother, you're supposed to be burned alive for that. You see how serious God's laws are sex on? You understand? Now the priest would come and the officers would come and burn you alive for doing that. Now, you break God's laws on sex, the Lord will burn you alive. That's where all these STDs and gonorrhea and herpes and syphilis and chlamydia, that's where all of these things coming from. Evil, not obeying God's laws on sex. The scriptures say a curse without a cause will not come. You understand? All right. You get burned alive for that. It's right here in the scriptures. You understand? Both he and they The women get burned alive, the mother and the daughter and the man, that there be no wickedness amongst you. This is what the Egyptians were doing. You understand? If a man lie with a beast, you lay down with a cat, a dog, women having sex with horses and donkeys, you having sex with gerbils, all kind of god-awful things that our oppressor has introduced to our people, because Martin Luther King told us to integrate. He shall surely be put to death, and ye shall slay the beast. The dog got to die, the gerbil got to die, the hamster, all of that has to be killed. That has to stop. You understand? You have defiled that animal and defiled yourself. That life has to get off the earth. That spirit got to go back to the Most High so he can decide what to do with that. Because if you are that disgusting of a wicked bastard that you would lay down and have sex with a dog or a cat or a horse, or have sex with a woman and her mother, or have sex with your father's wife, or have sex with another man's woman, then the Lord wants you off the earth. The Lord wants your spirit to go back to him. Now, of course, we're not saying nobody go out and kill anybody now, take anybody's lives. This is what the laws are in the Bible. The Lord is doing the killing now. There was a time when the Lord gave the instructions for the priests and the officers to go and do this. We in the I.S.U.P.K are those same priests and officers. The Lord Christ has given an order to not execute judgment. You understand? Until he returns, or until the Lord gives some orders to Commanding General Yahanna, you understand? But Christ gave an order, wait ye upon me, you understand? Which was the last order Christ gave, you understand? That's the order we follow, and that's the order Commanding General Yahanna is enforcing us to follow as well. We ain't passing judgment on nobody, but this is how serious the Lord takes it. The Lord still takes these things serious to this day, which is why our people are losing their lives like crazy, man. All right. And with that, we're going to wrap it up here. We're going to pick up here next week. All right. Make sure you pay your tithes, 10% of every penny of every increase the Lord gives you. You get a stimulus check, pay your tithes. You get your taxes back, pay your tithes. Somebody give you $20, pay your $2 belongs to the Lord. Your checks, whatever you get, your increase, pay your tithes. You understand? A loan that you get, you understand? Just to be clear, you get a loan that you get. That loan is not your increase. You understand? That's not an increase. That's not something you earned from an increase. You did not pay tithes on your loan. You understand? That's not an increase. Okay. All right. So with that, we're going to wrap up the class. While y'all coming out, y'all clap it up. We're going to do one courtesy salute. But first, we're the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. We started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. We are not affiliated with any other Israelite groups, churches, mosques, nothing. We stand with the Most High only. You understand? Pay your tithes. Any brother wants to become a trooper in the school, make sure you wear your all black. Get your all black ready, boot, shirt, headband, war scarves. Contact the school. Let the school know. Let the camp leader know that you want to be a trooper in the school so that you can be in your all black, so that you can get your instructions to be ready to stand outside of the camp in your all black, to show your willingness to get into the work of the Lord. If you are serious, you understand. You brothers and sisters, you off limits for 90 days at least. You come into the school. You understand? After that, you'll be awarded a chance to get your Hebrew name, or the brothers and sisters in the school. You understand? All right. And with that, we're going to give one courtesy salute. But before that, the upcoming High Holy Days on June the 20th, you understand, that's coming up. The High Holy Days that's coming up is the Feast of First Fruits. So, let me make sure that on the date should be coming up soon. The Feast of First Fruits, I don't think it's June. Don't quote me on that date. But the correspondence department has already reached out to everyone. It is coming up. It is going to be on a Sunday. Make sure y'all get back with the correspondence department. You know, if y'all able to make it, y'all contact the school. You understand, in your different areas and zones where you are. All right. If you are closer to another school, still the school name is school number is still the same. You understand? If you're not down in the southern region by Norfolk, you understand, in that Norfolk area, you're at a Richmond or something like that, just contact the school. You come down to the feast day. You understand? Or if there's a school closer to you that you might be able to make that feast day as well. You do well to communicate, all right? With that, one courtesy salute to the brothers, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shah Barakathum, to the sisters, Yahweh Shema Alathun Ba'Shem Yahweh Shah. All right, everybody, hit the thumbs up, like, share these videos, everything, all right? With that, shalom.